So, my dear children, this is our chapter number 1, Fields and Forests. Doesn't this picture look so amazing and pleasing to our eyes? What can you see in the picture? Tell me 3 things you can see in the picture. We can see the pond, the grass, the tree, the animals, the birds, the flowers. Isn't it? So now, which all are the animals in this picture? There is the frog. And that is how a frog croaks. The frog sound is known as croaking. Okay? Now there is a fish. And then there is a turtle or a tortoise. So what is the difference between a turtle and a tortoise? So we can consider this as a turtle because turtle is something that lives most of its time in the water and some at times in the land. And this is near the water, so we can assume it to be a turtle, while the tortoise lives on the land. So are you clear with that doubt? Now what do we have on the tree? We all are familiar with this animal. Which is this? It is the squirrel. Now that was the sound of a squirrel's cry or bark. Okay? And then what else can you see? Of course, the birds in the sky. Isn't it so? Let's hear the bird chirping. Now let's start reading the lesson. Lesson number 1, Fields and Forests. Why don't you come down and play with me? Asked the fish, looking up at the squirrel on the tree. On hearing this, the frog laughed and teased. Ha ha! Imagine the squirrel's condition if he gets into the water. So now I will explain it to you. First, the fish in the pond is looking at the squirrel in the picture, right? And the fish is asking, why don't you come down and play with me? And hearing this, the frog laughed and teased. How do you laugh, my dear children? Tell me. Is that how you laugh? No, right? You people laugh beautifully. Okay, and then the frog laughed and teased the fish. He was telling, does the fish have no sense? Imagine what will happen to the squirrel if it gets into the water. So, my dear students, tell me, what will happen if the squirrel gets into the water? Why is the frog teasing the fish? Have you ever seen a squirrel inside a water? And where does a squirrel live? Where have you seen the squirrel mostly? It mostly lives on a tree. Why? Because it cannot live in the water, it will die. Because it is made to live on the land. So now, the squirrel was not ready to give in. He hit back. Can you climb a tree and jump along its branches like I do? The frog said, who can dive and turn in water like the fish? Can a fish live or move on land? So if someone tells you you cannot do this, then you will tell back, right? No, if I can't do this, you cannot do the other thing which I used to do. You people say, right? You are not ready to lose to anyone. And like that, the squirrel asked, if I cannot play in the water, you cannot also climb the tree and jump among the branches. At that time, the frog also said, you cannot also not swim like a fish and you cannot turn inside the water. And then there's a question again to you. Can a fish live or move on the land? Have you seen any fish on the land other than in water? What happens when we put the fish on the land? Have you observed a fish? When we put it on the land, it cannot breathe and it dies. Then how does it breathe in water? Like we have lungs to breathe, the fish have gills to breathe. And the gills will only absorb oxygen from water but not from air. And that is why when we put a fish outside the water, the fish dies. Did you understand? So now, you all like seeing fishes in the aquarium, right? Look at the boy in the picture looking at the fish in the aquarium. We all have done like this. How about we draw the picture of a fish in the book now? Miss will now play a video to show you how to draw a simple fish. So take down your book and try drawing it. Okay? So I hope all of you have drawn the small, simple and cute fish. Isn't it easy to draw a fish? Now, what is the special features of a fish? How is it different? Look at those three pictures. It's a dolphin, then again a mackerel fish and a boat. What do you notice? The similarity in them. Don't they look of the same shape? Does this shape help them move in the water? Do they have a shape that helps them move swiftly in water? This shape is called the streamlined face shape. What is it called? The streamlined shape. Now see this boat-like shape. The streamlined shape is also known as the boat shape, which has two pointed edges help them to swim easily through the water. And also they have small fins. Can you see on the sides of the fish? Those are called the fins, and that also help them to swim in the water. The fins, this shape, all are called the adaptations of a fish. Now what is this adaptation? Have you heard about it? Look at the sentence given in the green box. Organism and peculiarities that help it to live in its dwelling place. This is called adaptation. What is this English? It is too much? No. You have grown up students, now you have to understand the meaning of this. An organism has certain peculiarities. An organism has certain things or qualities that help it to live in its dwelling place. That is the habitat. That is the place where it is. That is called the adaptation. The fish has its fins. It has its shape. All for what? To live in the water. Now tell me another adaptation of a fish. I discussed it earlier with you. What was it? Do you remember? Yes, it was the gills. The gills of the fish. So, have you understood adaptation clearly? If then tell me, how does a turtle or a tortoise live in the water and also on land. How is it able to adapt? What is the reason behind that? It is the small legs of the turtle that helps it to swim in the water. Like this, like humans have lungs to survive on the land. To breathe air, we have lungs. That is our adaptation. Is it clear? This is a model of a fish made by paper by Lena. Can you try making this yourself? So today your activity is to try to make this beautiful fish with the paper. Okay? You have to do it, okay? And now habitat. Go and observe a pond in your locality. But now can you go to a pond? No. This time you cannot go. But think before when you went, what all plants and animals did you notice there? There are so many plants, ferns growing in the side of the ponds, right? There are animals. What are the animals? There will be fish. There will be small frogs near the pond. Have you noticed them? Now again we have a small work and question here. Complete the table below with organisms that live on land and in water. What all live on land? Banyan tree, mongoose. Mongoose is something that eats the snakes. Have you seen it? It is known kiri in Malayalam. Okay. What else lives on land? Live on land. Where do we live? We live on the land. So you can write humans, you can write lion, animals, cat, everything which lives on the land. Now what lives in the water? Water lily, frog, we have the fish, we have the turtle, we have the shark, fish, everything that lives on water can be written in the table. So you can fill in two which you like. Now the question is, the water lily and lotus live in water. Have you seen the water lily and lotus? Water lily is ambal poovu and lotus is tamara. Lotus is our national flower, right? Okay, so these are two flowers that grow in water. They survive in the water. But what helps them to survive in water? What adaptations do they have to survive in water? Can you tell me? Okay, have you seen the leaves of a lotus? They are round and big and they float on the water. When this happens, these leaves absorb the sunlight for photosynthesis. That is one adaptation. And if you have noticed the stem of the lotus and water lily, it is a bit sticky so that it doesn't get wet easily and it doesn't get decayed in the water. These all are some adaptations how water lily and lotus live in water. There are some animals that live on the land and also in the water, like the turtle and the frog. What are the on land and in water? What are the adaptations that help a tortoise to move on land and in water? There is a small correction here. It is not a tortoise that moves on land and in water. It is a turtle that moves on land and in water. It says its slimy body, the oar-like eggs. Then what else does it have? When on land, if someone goes to catch the turtle, it hides his head inside the shell. That is also one of its adaptations. So these adaptations help the tortoise to live on land and in water. Do frogs also have such adaptations? Yes, because frog can also live on the water and also on land. Inside the water we can see frog and also on the land we are able to see the frog is able to live on both land and water because it has lungs and gills. Gills to help them breathe in the water and lungs when they are on land. And when they are on land, their skin also stays moist and it can absorb oxygen. So it is easy to live. Look at your surroundings, dear. How much wonderful is it? Isn't it so fascinating and interesting to learn all this? Did you know all this before? Each and every creature on this earth is born with their own adaptations to help them adapt to their habitat. Now, what is a habitat? A habitat is a place where living things live. Like we live on the land, that is a habitat. We live in a house. The lion lives in a forest. Forest is a habitat. The pond is a habitat. The sea is a habitat. So all these are habitats. Now, there's a question. Which other creatures do you know have adaptations to live both on land and in water? List the creatures and their adaptations. So they have given two creatures, the duck and the crocodile. So you have to write the adaptations. I will tell one example. The duck is the creature, the adaptations is its feet. Have you seen the feet which helps them to swim in water? And now I'll give you one creature and its adaptation as an example. You have to write something different. Hippopotamus. They live both on land and in water. It is because of their skin, and they are also built to adapt in both land and water. Who is smarter? The lesson is getting too long, isn't it so? So how about we stop here and we will restart it next week during the class. Okay, my dear students? Hello, my dear students. So you finished listening to the class? How was it? I hope it was interesting. Ma'am tried my best to make you understand. But if you have any doubts, please clarify it. So I hope you all enjoyed the lesson. I'll be soon back with the next class in the next week. Okay? Till then, bye, take care and stay safe.